Yes, got myself some Manutech perlite for about $12, which is pretty expensive. I mean, you can buy it in hydroponic shops in much bigger areas, but I thought we can now do a definitive test because these are going pretty red pretty fast. So if we go to the shed, we can make ourselves up basically on the tripod a nice 2.4 litres of perlite, as you probably do, and the idea is to get this, which should fit quite well under there. I don't know if that's going to show it up or not, but hopefully that will photograph that quite well. And whether we're going to have to put it down with a bit of sticky tape or something, I don't know, but we're going to open the bag and give us a pouring hole. I'll probably open up the bag later on once we've done the pouring. And see, the question is, John Noyen over in Michigan, USA, he always recommends this, and I don't think this idea of mixing perlite and peat has just sort of come out of nowhere, and no one explains why. If it generates reductive flammable gas, well, there's your connection, but we can actually test it now. We've done so much experimentation now, we can run the equation back the other way, and we can get this, and we can pour in our perlite. See, it's very easy to pour it in if it doesn't stuff up, and we can do a certain quantity. You can actually measure a quantity into the container this way. That's right. So it quickly goes in there, and if you don't stuff it up or something, you can quickly, I don't know if that's actually, whether I need to get the camera around here and put it down on the tripod sort of thing so you can actually see it from another perspective. Let's see, is that the sort of perspective you want to see? Yeah, it's probably the perspective you want to see, like that. So you can either put it up there and then tamp it down, if you want to mess around, and you can actually put in known quantities of perlite into a container that way, or you can just, if you can get it right, sort of keep doing this. And rapidly fill up the container without getting too much silicosis. But if you want to stop that, you can always dampen it, but then it's going to stick, you see. 2 one and a half a dozen the other. So you can rapidly fill this up, then we'll inoculate it, and then we'll add a piece of chicken breast. And if it goes red in 4 days and goes all red through the whole container, we know then it must be generating reductive flammable gas. If it doesn't and it goes green, then we know at least that it probably doesn't generate reductive flammable gas, or it's not as good as poly. The question is, are they selling you expensive bags of perlite, or Is-ISOLITE? This is also known as Is-ISOLITE, by the way. Are they selling you expensive hydroponic grade perlite? Because it's easy. So what are they doing? Are they buying it from a hydroponic shop in big bags, and then they're cutting the bags down and selling it to you and making a profit that way? But they're not actually growing their plants in perlite at all. They're actually growing their plants. Probably need to go up a bit now. They're actually growing their plants in polystyrene, maybe putting a few of this stuff, putting a bit of perlite on the top of the surface of the pot. So you think it's perlite. They say, oh, can I have some of that? So they sell you a nice expensive bag of perlite, which they've knocked off from a hydroponic shop for a good price, a good markup price that they can do. So their plants grow really well. You pay them money to buy expensive perlite. Your plants don't grow well, if at all, because there's no reductive flammable gas. But that's what we're going to find out, fellas. It's just speculation on my part, but you know, of course then there's all the argument, is it like with the vermiculite, is it South African vermiculite, is it blah blah vermiculite, is it, you know, this, is it perlite that comes from this place, is it perlite that comes from that place? And before you know it, 10 or 15 years has gone by and you've done your dough. Yeah. And they're multi-millionaires and you're still fairly poor with still not a clue how CBs grow. Is that what it is? I don't know, but we're going to find out, fellas. This is going to be a definitive experiment. We can get the answer back in 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. Isn't that amazing? We can actually get a definitive yes or no answer. Does perlite, you know, in general, generate reductive flammable gas? You know, and how does that relate to ammonia? Well, ammonia has 4 hydrogens attached to it, doesn't it? Yeah, or 3 actually, but ammonium has 4 hydrogens attached to it. Ammonia has 3 hydrogens attached to it, and ammonium has 4 hydrogens attached to it. So, you know, if you're making ammonia, you're actually, you know, clamping down on the reductive flammable gas, or maybe ammonia pathway is not the way you want to go if the organism likes reductive flammable gas. Just speculation here, pure speculation here, fellas, but we're going to find out. We're going to use the scientific method, and we're going to drill down, and we're going to get a result. And we're going to find out, you know, what's been going on for the last 10 or 15 years, and why isn't anyone talking about this? Maybe if they talked about it, you'd be able to test it. If you knew what the perlite was all about, you could actually test for reductive flammable gas, which is what we're doing now, because we have an idea of what's going on, you see. That's why they don't want to talk about it, I don't think. Because if they talk about it, you find out what the active principle is supposed to be. Then you can test for the active principle, whether it actually generates reductive flammable gas or not, and find out whether they're telling you porkies or not. Because I reckon they're probably telling you porkies, but I might be wrong, and this is what science is all about. I'm going to find out what's going on, whether they're telling porkies or not, and you're going to find out as well. Okay, 4 days, we'll have the answer. Okay, over and out now, see ya.